Hello, this is a Budget Techie video, and today we are reviewing a refurbished Dell Optiplex computer that I got from a certified refurbisher from eBay for $50. Alright, we've got the computer. This is a Dell Optiplex, as I said earlier, and this has 4GB of RAM, 250GB of hard drive, Windows 10, and a 17-inch screen that I didn't order because they would actually charge extra money for that when these screens are actually pretty cheap. I don't know how they got this computer, but they probably bought it cheap off of a business in bulk and they threw some parts in there. It's pretty slow. I don't know why someone would use a 15-year-old computer, but this is only $50, so people would buy it. Plus, this is certified refurbished on eBay, so this is how the sellers get the buyers to buy this. So the buyers would be reassured that they would be getting a good computer with customer support and that sort of stuff. I did end up getting a return for this. I sent it back because the CPU wasn't as described. It was a Pentium, not a Core 2. And you'll see about that later in the video. And there's gonna be a few other things about the computer I'll explain later in the video. Okay, so here comes the unboxing. So we're digging in with the scissor right now. Okay, so we've got the box open. Let's see what's inside. So I noticed a goodie bag and a Dell keyboard. So this Dell keyboard looks pretty old, probably the same age as a PC. It looks like a membrane keyboard. I'm pretty sure they just refurbished it and wiped it down, but they did a pretty good job on it. Okay, so they packed it pretty well in this bubble wrap cushioning sort of stuff. So let's see what we have in this goodie bag. We've got a power cord, Wi-Fi adapter, and mouse in there, but I am not using the contents in the goodie bag since I already have my own peripherals, and I have my Ethernet hookup too. I am also gonna unpack this bubble wrap stuff off camera because it's hard to hold my camera and do that at the same time. First impressions on our Dell computer. So I just got this computer out of the box. Okay, it looks good. Minimal cosmetic damage. I don't think anyone who is not tech savvy would complain about it. Okay, so the model, it seems to be an Optiplex 755. I noticed something odd about this Dell logo. It seems like a sticker because the gray is actually off from the gray on the rest of the side panel, which is a little strange, so I could assume that's a sticker. I didn't see where they cut it out. I'm pretty sure they used this sticker to hide the scratches. This is a similar Dell Optiplex I have, not the same model though. So here's the Dell logo. You can see it doesn't have any stickers on it and it matches the gray that's on the rest of the side panel. Okay, so I just got this computer to the test bench and it's in the initial setup stage. I just started it up. I can see it has the Windows setup screen on it. Let's talk about spec options on this machine. I got the base specs, which is a 4GB RAM, 250GB hard drive, pretty standard, no monitor, but if you got the maximum spec, they will max out whatever could be put in this computer. They will put 8 gigs of RAM, 480GB SSD, plus 1TB hard drive, and two 22-inch LCD monitors. For the maximum spec, that will set you back about $300 in American currency, but I don't think it's really worth it to put all these parts in here since the CPU, it could be a potential bottleneck for all these good specs, and I don't think it's worth wasting it on a 15-year-old computer. Okay, so this is the first looks at the computer after setup, and it seems like they have some pre-installed apps. So first one is Chrome. It's a web browser used by pretty much everyone. It makes sense that they installed Chrome on there. They also have Malwarebytes on here, which is a malware detection software, and this company could be partners with Malwarebytes because there is a premium and they probably have like a discount code on the premium. They have TeamViewer, which they could be using for their technical support, and they also have VLC Media Player, which is a pretty good app. It's an open source app for playing videos. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at this machine specs. So I'm gonna go into the settings menu and look for specs. Okay, so it's a little slow. We have Windows 10 Home on it. And we have an Intel Pentium. Well, they did advertise a Core 2 on this computer, but it's a Pentium. So they have the 4 gigabytes, which is true, but the Pentium. That's why I returned this computer. I don't think this company is doing the right thing at all, since they are just fobbing their customers off with the cheapest parts and hoping they would get away with it. But some people who are not tech savvy don't even bother to check their specs. Those people who are not tech savvy would buy this computer and think it's good because of this refurbished certified thing on eBay. I can see they added a support page with their website and everything. This is the Refurbisher Discount Computer Depot, and here's their website. It's pretty slow. Wow, they even have these refurbished gaming PCs, which are probably not even as good. They don't really do a good job. So they have a lot of refurbished sort of stuff in this website. Okay, now here's the teardown. This is the part you have probably been waiting for. So I did notice something when I was about to tear it down, that the rest of the side panel is actually a sticker too, not only the Dell logo. Because when I lifted onto the desk, some parts of the sticker started coming off. So we've got the teardown. I just opened the side panel. Looks pretty standard for one of these Dell Optiplexes. So we've got the RAM. For some reason, it's secured by a rubber band. So I'm going to try to take it out. Here's one rubber band. I'm pretty sure they use these rubber bands to keep the RAM secure during shipping, but I don't see a need for that. So I'm taking out the second rubber band now. These rubber bands are quite hard to get off, actually. Okay, so we've got the rubber band off. I am going to take out the RAM now to see what kind of RAM we have. So here we have our module. It looks like it's 1 gigabyte and it's 666 megahertz. That is the devil's number. And this brand of RAM is Nanya. I heard of this brand before. This is one of the Dell OEM brands. putting the RAM back inside. Sorry for blocking the camera with my arm. I didn't have the best camera view. Just making sure that RAM is nice and tight, since I actually was planning to return it because of the wrong CPU, and I didn't want them looking in there like I was modifying it or something. I just pulled out our hard drive, so this appears to be a Seagate. Looks pretty good condition. It doesn't look too beat up, but I can see a little bit of fingerprints on there, so one of the people might have put their fingerprints on it and tampered with it. So this appears to be a Dell part, so they pulled this out of another Dell computer possibly. So now I'm putting it back in. Okay, so we're dismantling the CPU core. This CPU core assembly on these older Dell Optiplexes are quite interesting. Okay, so you need to get in here with a screwdriver. Didn't know that. Okay, so just dismantle the CPU core, and look, there's dust in here. Wow, this is unacceptable for a refurbished PC. So next up, after all this dust craziness, I'm going to be wiping the thermal paste out just to verify the CPU. And I'm not sure if they even replaced this thermal paste, since it could be 15 years old. You never know. Because I don't think they went into the CPU at all while they were doing the refurbishment process of this PC. That could explain why they didn't replace the CPU with a Core 2, and they just left the Pentium in there. So we've got the toilet paper, which is my usual thermal paste wipe. I'm just going into the CPU, wiping it out. Okay, so clearly this is some old thermal paste, because I can see the thermal paste caking. It looks very dry. Old thermal paste usually looks like that. So this is a Pentium dual core. Wow, they didn't even replace the thermal paste. They should do it, because they're just lowering the cooling performance on this. This thing will become hot. So this is Dell Optiplex. They did make this computer in 2008, which is a little close to 15 years, but it is getting there, but not 15 years yet. I never noticed they cleaned or touched up the bottom since no one's gonna see that anyway. So they didn't even bother to do that. There's a lot of scratches on the bottom. But I guess that's typical for a used computer since people drag it all over the floor all the time. I try to keep mine in pristine condition after that since I want to get a full refund after the return. Okay, so I'm just putting the CPU cooler back now. So this fan looks pretty dusty. You can see a lot of dust caked up in that fan. This is not good for the computer. Okay, so here's more views of the dust. Just put the CPU cooler back. Thanks for watching my review on this Dell Optiplex. Please like, subscribe, and peace out.